Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kingdom's Queens podcast. We are off of another nail-biting Chiefs win because nothing can ever be stress-free as a Chiefs fan, right? Because everyone wants our best shot, and we should know better by now. So that's just how it's going to go. But we got the dub, so we are so excited, and we're so excited to be here with you guys tonight. So there's a lot to get into. Thanks for bearing with us. We're a little bit late tonight, but we've been doing a lot this week. So I'm your host, Lexi.
Hey, y'all, what's up? I am Jodi, and yes, it has been a very hectic day. But we are here. We are here. And it is late. It is 8:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. We never go live this late, but we had to make sure to give y'all a show this week because the rest of our week is chaos. So let's kind of go ahead and get into it around the NFL. It has been a very interesting week. To only be week 2, it has been a very interesting week of football. So there's a few places where we can start, but let's just kind of address the elephant in the room with the Tua Tagovailoa situation, which I said his name so wrong, and I am so sorry.
No, you said it right. That's good.
It's a very sad situation happening right now in Miami with Tua. Today, he was placed on injured reserve, which means he's going to be out for the next 4 games. But if you watched the game this past week, you've seen that he took a very brutal hit against Damar Hamlin, which put him in the concussion protocol almost immediately. They were able to identify that he had a concussion within 6 minutes from being off the field. Yeah. I guess the good thing about it is he walked off the field, he went into the locker room, his family was there, he got to spend time with them. But after just kind of listening to a lot of different NFL analysts and just like former players and things of that nature who spoke about what it's like being concussed and not really knowing where you're at when it's happening or in that current moment. So prayers up to Tua, because that is very scary. What are your thoughts about that?
It's so scary. I hate it for Tua. He's been through the ringer these last few years. I think it was 2022 where he had 2 concussions in back-to-back weeks, and they tried to play it off as a neck shoulder injury or something the first time. Yeah. And then everyone was like, and then he got
back or something. Like the first one was like a back injury. We were like, it's not a back injury.
We're like, no. Like everyone was like, no, it's not. But
not even close.
Yeah, he's had a lot of concussions, and honestly, that's really worrisome. That's your health. That's your life. You have a wife. You have a child. Like, it's just scary. And he's a great quarterback. And I understand he doesn't want to give up the game just yet. I totally get everything. Everyone on the internet is demanding him to retire. Yeah. And I don't think that's anyone's place but him and the team. So they can all handle that. For me, I mean, in my opinion, I think if it were my quarterback, it's hard. Like, you don't want to see him retire because he is talented. But yeah, on the same hand, how many more hits like that can he take? And someone needs to teach that man how to slide.
And he knows how to slide. I don't know the reasoning why he did not, because you'll notice last season he did slide more often based off of.
And he didn't. Yeah. And the thing that it happened against Damar Hamlin, that was weird. It's weird.
It was a very scary situation.
Right. Yeah. So
definitely prayers
up for Tua.
Yeah. It seems like there's always something going on in Miami, if we haven't noticed that by now. But, just to go ahead and stay there, since Tua was placed on IR, they went out and they did go get Tyler Huntley, who I thought did sign on the Ravens, but I think they picked him up off their practice squad. Yep. Which is also kind of very interesting situation. Yeah. But I mean, they definitely are creating what their backup action plan is going to look like while Tua is out. And I know that they're just saying 4 weeks right now. I could see it possibly being longer. I do think they also have an early bye week too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but hopefully he just does what is best for him. And if he feels like he's ready to play, then hey, you go out there and play. And if he feels like he's not, then hey, you sit down and you take it a few more weeks. We cannot tell you what to do.
Well, I do think it's good that they're putting him on injured reserve and he can take at least 4 weeks to recover
Yeah.
kind of get some different opinions and see where he's at. And then they just have to find someone to back him up in the meantime. So
Man.
let's see. Oh my gosh, they're the same bye week as we are. So they're week
Yeah,
6.
I figured
Yeah.
for a second that they had the
Yeah.
early bye week. So yes, but let's go ahead and go down to North Carolina.
Ooh.
The freaking Panthers are benching Bryce Young. What? So I know that I call a lot of places unserious all the time. The Panthers are a very unserious
Actually unserious.
Like, there's no way that you guys took this young man last year as your number one pick, the number one
And
pick
you
in the
traded
NFL draft.
they traded
you're
like
benching him.
everything. They traded like everything to get him.
Their whole world. And you're benching him after 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks of football. A year and 2 weeks. Here's my quick take. First of all, A, not Bryce Young's fault. B, terrible coaching, terrible GM, terrible front office. Everything that you can think of for this organization that could go wrong is them. It's what they do. It's who they are. And it's really unfortunate because Bryce Young, where I think me and you had this conversation a lot last season. We were big fans of CJ Stroud.
We were.
Bryce was second.
Yep.
I think I was tooting the horn the whole time for CJ to go number 1 and not number 2.
We both were, yeah.
Very happy he ended up with the Texans because he's having a fantastic career so far.
Right.
But Bryce Young, I think the concern for everybody is his stature. He is smaller. I mean, and you look at Kyler Murray, who is kind of the same build as him. He may be a little bit bigger, but he should be able to. Okay, so he's not in a situation where he could sit for a year and then come out and play. The Panthers were in a situation where they needed a quarterback right now to go, which is totally fine. But if you don't have great coaching and if you don't have a good quarterback coach, then what is the point of all of this? Because he is not being developed at all by any standpoint. Anything that he has done and he has learned, it has come from his college career. He has not necessarily learned anything in his NFL career to make him be a better player.
Not at all. And actually, I was hoping Dave Canales could kind of be that guy for him. I was hoping because he kind of resurrected Baker Mayfield's career over there at the Buccaneers. Like, I was hoping maybe he would do the same for Bryce Young, and I'm sure the Panthers were hoping the same thing. But to give up on him in week 2, it's
sick.
I just don't get it. I don't get them. They're kind of like the joke of the NFL right now. They're playing like a JV NFL team, right? Like it's not good. They got rid of like a few pieces today that I was looking at the comments and all the Panthers fans were like, why would we get rid of this guy? Why would we get rid of that guy? Like they just, no one knows what's going on in that organization. Like no one.
They don't the front office doesn't even know what's going on in that organization.
So I feel for them. I feel for their fans, but it's going to be at least a few years until they do anything in the NFL.
Absolutely. And I haven't sat down.
I don't know where they even go.
Well, I haven't sat down and even looked at like their cap space. Are they in cap hell? Can they even go get someone?
So I think they're probably fine.
I don't think they are either. I could be very wrong. I'll have to look.
But also, like, no great player is like pining to play there right now.
No.
Like no great player is like, yeah, let me go to the Panthers. Like, no.
Absolutely not. No.
So they just don't have a lot going for them.
They don't. Very unfortunate situation happening right now.
They have JC Horn as a cornerback, and that's it. That's like their best player.
Best of luck to you.
So
so much for that. Anyway, as we talked about, ton of injuries also happening this year.
Oh my God.
And I'm not sure if that's a matter of people really need to start playing in training camp and they need to start playing in these preseason games. And, Andy Reid makes these guys play. Now, granted, they may only go out there for a drive or two, but Andy is putting those guys out there, except in the third game.
And granted, we lost one of our key players in preseason, so I understand the hesitancy, but I also think it's super beneficial. So
I mean, especially with like all these guys who are getting like all of these hamstring injuries all of a sudden. And that's really what it seems like a lot of like hamstring, leg tightness, all of that. So if we just kind of dive in really quickly to all of the injuries that have happened in the last freaking 2 weeks of the NFL, the Rams don't even have a team.
Oh my
Like, I
God.
genuinely don't even know where to start.
No.
They
It's
are
so bad.
They don't have a team. Sean McVay is such a great freaking coach,
He
and
is.
he has the ability to be a very special talent coach, but literally no Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua, which God bless. I imagine your NFL team, for those of you that aren't Chiefs fans, losing their two best receivers. I mean, we've lost one, right? But imagine losing your
Right.
two best receivers. Like,
It's awful. No, it's awful. And it's like it'd be like losing Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice, right? That's what I can equate it to, like to the Chiefs. Like that's what Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are to the Rams,
yeah.
is Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice to the Chiefs. So imagine losing those two guys. You'd be like, it's not ideal.
We can stay on the West Coast. The Niners, they just did they put Debo on IR?
Debo's not on IR, but he has a
He's
strain.
A strain. So
I
they're not
think he's
putting
at
him
least
on IR yet, but
he's out a few
maybe
weeks.
out for this week.
Yep.
And
No, he's out a few weeks for sure.
And then CMC is on IR. So it's like
Yep.
those are also their number 1 and 2 punch when you look at the
Yep.
Niners. Of course, they still got George Kittle. They still got Brandon Ayuk. So they do still have some of those weapons there. But Jesus Christ, it's like people are going out in twos, and it's incredibly scary.
Yeah.
Look at the Eagles. They're without A.J. Brown, and God bless.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't even want to talk about how much I love Nick Sirianni. Please get all of the sarcasm out of that. The Browns are without Njoku, which sucks. Evan Ingram is out for the Jags. Jermaine Johnson is out for the Jets. And of course, Hollywood Brown is out for the Chiefs. Like, there is just so many things.
It's so unfortunate
happening. I don't know if it's a full
and
moon.
I'm probably like forgetting people in that list I gave you too, but like
I don't know if it's a full
it's
moon.
never ending.
I don't know if we're in a retrograde. I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
But
it's brutal.
We're just gonna pray that week 3 and so goes better.
Everyone, please. Like, we need people to be healthy.
Whatever you're doing, please stop it right now. So I will say the news did break out for Hollywood Brown, though. And he tweeted about it as well last night. He said that his surgery was successful. So that is all of the great news that we want to hear, right? So the expectation is he probably won't be back until December. Now, when we look at how this game went this past Sunday, we also lost Isaiah Pacheco in the last 2 minutes of our game to a broken fibula, but in the ankle, not the actual like part
sprained fibula. Sprained fibula.
Fractured fibula.
Fractured.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm like fractured. I'm like, if it was a sprain, he would be way back before December.
Fractured fibula. Yeah, you're right.
So he has a broken fractured fibula, which is going to hold him out at least until December. So we're looking at a situation now where we won't get Charles Omenihu back until probably the bye week, maybe the week after. We won't get Hollywood Brown back until about December when it's time to go on the playoff run. And that's
best case.
Best case. And then Isaiah Pacheco, we probably won't see him back until December as well. Now, I do want to say that has not been said yet. That's just kind of the speculation of 6 to 8 weeks when you do the math.
Right.
That's what it breaks down to. So.
Yeah, that's what everyone's kind of been saying is it's 6 to 8 weeks. So that's what we're expecting. So we won't know more until I think he's probably off to have his surgery today or tomorrow. And then we should know more. Highly unfortunate. Isaiah Pacheco played his freaking butt off the whole game. And if you guys watch that tackle he went through, it was just two Bengals sandwiching his leg in between their bodies. And it just like bent backwards, and it was horrible. And I'm glad it's not any more serious than that. Like, we were at first afraid it could be season ending. which would be horrible. Because as everyone knows, Isaiah Pacheco, I don't think that's a big statement, but like he loves football. He loves being out there with his brothers. He loves it more than anything in the world. Like it is hard to keep that man off the football field. And he is such a fighter. He is such a hard runner. Like, and I don't want him to change anything about himself, you know? I really don't, but
I don't think he
man, it
will, but
sucks
it's
to
going to
lose
be
him.
real interesting. Whenever anybody comes back from an injury, they're never the same. So I can't wait to see like what his rehab is like and how he
Right.
comes back, because it doesn't matter who you are. When you're a player and you're coming back from an injury, you're always scared, especially to take that first hit.
It
So
makes me so sad for him. Like I just he
yeah, it's
wanted,
definitely
you
not
know,
fun.
you and I talked to him on the red carpet at the ring ceremony. He's like so looking forward to getting his 1,000-yard season, and
Yeah,
it just breaks
all
my
my
heart.
future
It breaks
tickets
my
are
heart.
cooked. All of my future betting tickets are cooked.
It just breaks my heart for him though as a player. Like I just know how much he wants to be out there, and
Yeah,
all of our good wishes to Isaiah Pacheco, because we want you back out
and
there.
Hollywood Brown.
And Hollywood
So
Brown, of course.
absolutely. So I will say someone did mention this, which you're absolutely right. Justin Jefferson also limped off the field, but he should be fine and
Oh
good to go.
God, yeah.
But
Okay.
he definitely had to have some assistance getting off the field on their game.
So did George
On Sunday.
Kittle. So did
Yeah,
George
but I
Kittle.
think George
So I
Kittle
think he's
just got
okay.
an IV.
Yeah, something.
The rumors are he just went and got an IV. So hopefully, and he came back in the game too. So he's okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, it is time to quickly talk to our sponsors. If you have not signed up for the Autograph app, please make sure that you download the app right now and use promo code Kingdoms Queens, 2 S's. This is your favorite sports app. You can download this app. You can select all of your favorite teams, have it in one location. You can see all of the latest news about them, including all of the drama that happened. Plus, I mean, if you're in the MLB, we're getting ready to go into playoffs. You can get all of that information on there as well. All of your favorite local podcasts for all of the favorite sports teams that you choose, you can also get on there and listen to them. So you can listen to your Kingdoms Queens through the Autograph app. Lastly, you can purchase tickets to games on there. They check every single website, every third party, second party vendor, and they put the best rates on there to purchase tickets. So for me, going to Atlanta this weekend and going to the Chiefs Falcons game where tickets are starting at $500 each, I will be on there looking for a decent ticket, because who wants to pay that? Absolutely no one. So download the Autograph app. Make sure you use promo code Kingdoms Queens. Chiefs
Please.
Bengals. Holy moly. Why can we never just have a regular game with these people? Why?
So ever. Not no.
Ever.
And
I
now
was like,
we
we're easily
know.
winning by 10. What?
I
Ain't no way
literally
we're not
thought it
winning by 10.
literally thought it would be by 10.
Embarrassing. I'm
and
like, embarrassing.
it probably should have been. I think they played their worst against the Patriots in week 1, which was just pathetic, and that gave us all the impression that we should win by 10, right? We should know better. We should know better. It's the Bengals, and while I knew they were going to play us hard, I didn't know that it was going to be like this, and I swear,
I mean, Lou Anarumo
I really hate to say this, but Lou Anarumo against Patrick Mahomes. It's not even. I've never seen a defensive coordinator trip Patrick Mahomes up like Lou Anarumo does.
Well, I've seen what
It's
Steve Spagnuolo does to people. So I'm not surprised.
He's ours. Like, we don't have to deal with him. He's ours.
Well, I'm saying, I see how he could go in and dial it up at the flip of a dime. So I'm not surprised at all that Lou Anarumo does this every single time we meet.
Every
now,
time.
I mean, if we're going to let's talk about the facts of the game though, right? 3 turnovers. You can't have 3 turnovers and win a football game. There was actually a point in the fourth quarter where I was like, we should lose this game because we have 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
There's no NFL team that can go out and have 3 turnovers and still win a game, which kind of just really proves to the fact that this is a championship team, not roster team. from
whole
the
team.
GM down.
Yeah.
Like you can clearly see that from the GM to the head coach to the coaches to the training staff to the you see it.
And that's
all
where, people want to say the Chiefs just have really good luck, especially with refs, right? We're not even really going to get into that. But I think for me, the Chiefs might get a call here and there, and everything that they do right now is going to be under a magnifying glass. So whether or not you agree with the calls, whatever, but the Chiefs are a championship team. They play these games and they know how to win them. And Patrick Mahomes will do things that he knows will probably get called and probably get called in his favor. And you might not like that as an opposing
It's the
fan.
Aaron Rodgers effect. People get so mad at Aaron Rodgers because he knows how to do the snap count and make people jump off sides.
But you know
he knows how to
exactly.
draw the free play. If you watch football, quarterbacks know what they need to do to take advantage of the game, and it's not just Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes saw and the thing is, we're already talking about the end of the game, but the thing is, like, we were on 4th and 6, I think, and then
4th and 8,
4th and 6, 4th and 8, something like that. He threw it to Rashee Rice. Rashee caught it, and then we get called because Wanya Morris was in the game at left tackle at this point because Kingsley was struggling as a rookie, as expected. So Wanya Morris was in, and honestly, I don't even think he intended to do hands to the face. I think his hand just slipped, and it went up into the defender's face. I forget. I think it probably was Trey Hendrickson.
Probably.
But literally, I think his hand just slipped. I don't even think he meant for that to happen. But that's going to be called, right? So Mahomes completes it to Rashee Rice. He had it. Like, we were good to go. 4th and 6 with 30 seconds left. And then we get that penalty. So everyone's like, oh, well, you guys get all the calls. Well, no, we got a call in 30 seconds left. And what do the Chiefs do? Mahomes goes to the guy. He's going to go right back to Rashee Rice because that's what we do in play calling. You're going to go right back to the same guy. We do that all the time. That's to know Andy Reid is to know he does that. And their guy, I think it was a rookie, Anthony something, committed the penalty, and Mahomes saw it, and this guy was already jumping over Rashee Rice, and all the Bengals fans want to argue he was making a play on the ball. No, he was over Rashee Rice as he was trying to catch it. There was no chance for Rashee Rice to catch the ball. So that's going to get called. You might not like it, but it's going to get called.
There were so many plays in this game that did not get called on both sides. So I genuinely hate when know how to just watch a football game and talk football. They always go to the ref. Those are people that I do not entertain. No. I'm always like, go back and rewatch. I don't deal with trolls. I'm not doing it because, I mean, there was a blatant call. There was a blatant missed call on Rashee Rice where Cam Taylor-Britt was all over his back and there was no flag. So it's like, literally, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with Chiefs fans or Bengals fans about the referees. I don't care. We're here to talk about the actual game and how the game went. Now, this was probably Patrick Mahomes' worst game of his whole entire career. Literally. From a pass
the only game I can say was probably,
this was his worst game.
But the only game I could say was worse was that Titans game from 3 years ago where he scored 3 points.
So
in Tennessee. Do you remember that game?
I do remember that game, but
I think that was his worst game, but I think this was a second.
Okay, my point is this is one of the worst games that Patrick Mahomes has ever played.
Yeah.
Not only was it one of the worst games that he's ever played, our left tackle got abused, and that's okay. Yeah. A lot of people weren't happy with that, but he was going against a freaking all-pro. What do you expect? It's not like he was just going against another rookie out there on the line. And if you go back to look against how he played against the Ravens, he was good. Right. So it's like you can't be upset from what you got from Kingsley Sumamatai going against Trey Hendrickson, a freaking pro.
And Andy gave him no help.
Well, he tried to give him a little chip help. He just didn't take it. And it just
didn't work. Yeah.
It didn't work.
And actually, I want to give Kingsley a shout out. I think he did really good in the run blocking game, or not really good, but he did good in the run blocking. It was pass blocking where he struggled.
And for me, I think I'm also just when you look at how the rest of the O-line did going against their D-line, and the Bengals have a pretty decent D-line.
They do.
You're gonna get what you can get. Now, I will say we definitely took advantage of their run game defense because it's terrible, which is why Isaiah Pacheco has such a great day. And even Carson still has some major runs, which again, when you sit down and look at the 3 rookies who played in this game, Kingsley, tough game. Carson, fumble. Jared Wiley almost didn't catch the freaking ball, and then he caught the ball. He gave everybody a freaking heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, when you sit down and you gotta look at your rookies and what they did, it's like, you know what? It's week 2. It's
week 2.
I'm not gonna be angry with you. And like you said, if you know Coach Reed is gonna go back to you. They did not stop giving the ball to Carson Steele. He continued to have the ball and he continued to run and do his thing. Let's switch to the defense. So George Karlaftis, freak.
Beast.
Like
absolute freak. Beast.
Chris Jones.
Of course. Yeah. Like, not even a question.
Those two beside each other is like
I love them.
It's like a cheat. It's like genuinely not fair.
Did you see their sack thing today? Did you see that?
I haven't really.
I don't know if George or Chris was mic'd up, but one of them was mic'd up for this game. And they were talking on the bench, and I think it was George that actually had the sack, but Chris got his hand on it. And so when they like announced it, they're like, "Oh, it's George Karlaftis and Chris Jones got the sack."
Yeah, they said both.
And George is like, "You got half my sack," and Chris is like,
and it's so funny because
but he's like, "You stole half of mine last year," or whatever.
It's so funny because in the stadium, they showed George on the screen, right? Because George got the sack.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, like excited, right? And then they say, "Hey, Chris Jones." And they're like, okay, everybody's cheering. So I immediately am like, let me go look at the box score and see how did they do this sack. Because I'm like, did they give George half or did they give him the whole sack? So I just remember immediately stopping and going to my ESPN app and looking that up because I wanted to see what that box score was. But
yes,
I mean, those two together, they're a freaking cheat code. They're so
awesome.
good. Now, I will say though, when you look at everybody else on the defense, this is where you say Lou Anarumo is very good at his job because he attacked every single person on this defense, and you could see it.
You mean? Oh, well. No, Lou Anarumo's there. He's their D coordinator, though.
That's what I said. Oh, I'm sorry.
You mean their offense?
What am I trying to say? Their offensive.
Well,
I don't know who their offense. I don't know who their OC is.
I don't either.
I'm like, I don't know who their OC is. They have a new OC, right?
Yes, and
he went to
I'm forgetting his name.
I don't know his name. I don't really.
Their other one went to the Titans. Their other one went to the Titans and is now their head coach. But I will say we have been really, really tested with tight ends in games 1 and game 2. Like we gave up. Like Mike Gesicki looked like Travis Kelce out there.
Travis Kelce didn't look like Travis Kelce out there.
No, I need you to show back up, Travis.
For 2 weeks.
I need you to.
I don't even want to talk about how he's only giving me 5 points in fantasy in 2 weeks.
Same.
But their offensive coordinator, the way that they attacked this defense, because there were definitely points where Drew Tranquill and Nick Bolton and Joshua Williams
they were getting cooked.
Everybody was getting cooked. The only person who legit had a solid game besides Shamari Connor and Trent McDuffie would be Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. Like, those are the 4.
I want to add. Mike Dana had a good game too.
Mike Dana definitely had a good some moments. Yeah,
he did.
He had some moments. Yeah.
And one other guy I want to mention, Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton had some big plays. He had a few mishaps.
He was very 50-50.
But he was. Yeah. I thought he was way better this game than he was last week. So for me, that's a positive, and I think he's going to get better from there. I think he's really good at lining up the defense where they need to be. I mean, still the Chiefs defense has allowed 28 or fewer points through the last 10 games or something. Or no, the last season, I think.
Yeah, no, it's more than that.
So on, yeah. Which is the most in the NFL. Or since hold on, let me read the stat. I'm gonna.
Okay, while you're talking about that, I agree. I think Nick Bolton definitely, he was very 50-50 this game, but the times that he did flash, it was impactful and it made a difference in the game. But there were definitely some times there where he was getting cooked, he was getting worked, and you can feel Willie Gay not being here anymore. Like you can
Yes,
feel
yes,
that.
yes.
But again, it's week 2, so I'm not going to panic yet, but you
Right.
can see it on the defensive line.
No, you're right. So the stat is the Chiefs defense has now held opponents under 28 total points in 23 straight games, including the playoffs, matching the longest streak for any team since 2009.
Well, that is why.
It's a wild stat, but like that's a good stat. So I mean, our defense, they struggle here and there, but they get out and do what they need to do at the same time, you know? Like,
yeah, they definitely didn't.
it wasn't the best. I think they're
did
gonna
not give up as many 3rd and longs this week as they did week 1, because week 1 it was brutal.
It was brutal.
Week 2, it's like, okay, they were kind of.
I will say,
but I still have concerns about the secondary.
I will say your tweet where you said them going for your tweet where you said them going for 4th and 4 on the first drive, and then they got it. You're like, that's disrespect to our defense right there.
100%. Like, one, we already know that there's just that beef between the Chiefs and the Bengals. Like, we already know the beef is there. Yeah. But for them to go for 4th and 4 on the very first drive, I was like, oh, okay. Basically, what they're saying is you guys are scrubs, and
that was a move. That was a choice.
They got the first down. So I mean, they got the first down and they scored a touchdown. No, they got a field goal, but still, like,
no, they had a first down and a lot more. Yeah. They had like a 43-yard play on 4th down.
So yeah. But no, my biggest concern, I'm not worried about the defensive line. I think they'll figure it out. I am very concerned about the secondary. These DBs are stressing me out. And Trent McDuffie, where he is still being super locked down, he is still out there training and coaching and telling people where to go and telling people what to do. And you see it. You see it. And so when you look at Jalen, Joshua, and Najee, you're kind of like, all right, who is the number 2 guy? Like, who is it going to be? There were flashes where Joshua was good, and then there were flashes where he was really bad.
He was cooked.
There were flashes where Najee was good, and then there was flashes where he was bad. And you can say that for Jalen too. Now, if I had to sit down and say like who I think the number 2 would be with Trent, I would still go with Jalen.
Same.
Just because I feel like he's a little more polished. He has more experience.
He has more experience.
Mainly, but God bless. It is week 2, so that's what I'm gonna just keep telling myself.
Yeah.
And I think they got time to turn it around.
You know, yeah, I do think Jalen probably stepped up the most as CB2.
Absolutely.
I think the potential's there with Najee and then Joshua too, but
God bless.
Those two both allowed touchdowns, and
Joshua did not look good.
Joshua really blew his coverage. Najee,
I yelled so many times at him.
You know what happened? So Nazee's touchdown that got scored on him reminded me of what Josh Allen did to us in the playoffs, where he got that touchdown on Snead, where it was like the corner of the end zone. The guy caught it in front of him.
Yeah.
I think it was Shakir.
Yeah.
On the Bills, and he caught it like in front of him, and Snead got cooked, and that was the first touchdown he gave up the entire season.
Yeah.
That's the exact play that they ran on us that Najee got cooked on. But then he kind of made up for it later. However, Joshua Williams, he really just blew his coverage. I think it was on
multiple times.
Yosibas or whatever.
It was multiple times. There were multiple times.
But the one that was the touchdown, the touchdown was the most costly, and he blew that coverage. I mean, the guy was wide open. Like,
there was multiple times where he either had a first down on him or something of that nature. Yeah. And I expect more from him because he was not injured last season.
Right.
So he played more versus you got Jalen and Najee who could not be out. They couldn't be on the field because they were hurt. So it was a step back for me this week looking at him. Now, yes, it's week 2, and I think that's something else that like everybody has to also remember is we played 2 of the toughest teams in the first 2 weeks of football.
Well,
so
honestly,
nobody else has really done that. We played the Ravens and the Bengals in 14 days. So it's like that's tough to game plan against.
It's insane. And my thing is, like, okay, so the Chargers are getting a ton of hype right now. I'm like, y'all played the Raiders, who were horrible week 1, and then you played the Panthers. And you're expecting me to put you in number 5 overall NFL rankings? Like, are we kidding?
When we beat them week 4, we
will beat them. I think we will beat them.
We definitely will.
But for us, I think the fact that we came out 2-0 in these 2 games, I was expecting 1-1, to be honest with you. I have all the confidence that we could beat them both, but the fact that we actually beat them both and like got those wins in, I think is going to be huge for us.
I think our losses come to the NFC. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost to Atlanta this week.
I know. We've had that for a while. I know.
I have us losing to either Atlanta or New Orleans or both. Being very
I'm never going to say it. Like, my score prediction's never going to show it. I'm always going to pick the Chiefs. But I think there's a chance we could lose to the Falcons. And then the Saints are a freaking wagon.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Unbelievable.
I had us before the season started, and I know we're getting ready to talk about, and we can wrap up Chiefs Bengals. There's really not much more to say about Chiefs.
Well, we got to give our players of the game real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So offensive, Isaiah Pacheco. I'm gonna give him my offensive player of the game. Super sad to lose him, but he was a workhorse the entire game. He ran with all of his might. He was an angry runner the entire game. 19 carries for 90 yards and then 5 receptions for 21 yards. So total of like 111 yards. Fantastic performance by him. Super sad to see him be out for a while, but that's my offensive player of the game.
My offensive player of the game is Harrison Butker, and he's on special teams. And I think y'all know why.
He scores points.
I'm like, I don't need to explain that he's the best kicker in the whole entire NFL. Y'all know why. So yeah, Harrison Butker is my offensive player of the game.
Clutch. Defensive, I got Trent McDuffie. He held Jamar Chase, who loves to talk a lot. He held Jamar Chase to
made him angry.
2 targets, 1 catch for 4 yards. He accomplished 4 tackles and then 1 touchdown defended against Jamar Chase as well. So Trent McDuffie had a lockdown game. He's fantastic. Shout out to him.
All pro Trent McDuffie. I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Yeah.
My defensive player, of course, is Shamari Connor. Scoop and score. Touchdown, which is insane. I was like, is that Shamari? Okay. Not mad at that. Wild. That definitely was the game-changing play.
Yes.
If he did not scoop and score, the Chiefs would have lost this football game.
Yeah.
And he was all over the field. He had 6 tackles. He had half tackles. He was just in the way, creating destruction.
And he had a sack.
His energy was incredibly high in this game. So if that's the Shamari Connor of the future, then sign me up for all of that, because that was fantastic.
Well,
great game from him.
The Bengals were doubting him. So to see him come out like that, like they were like, oh, let's target Shamari, right? Nope. Like
Jesus Christ. I mean,
he got a sack too. He got a sack on Burrow as well.
He did. And I hate to be this person, but that freaking Cam Taylor-Britt talked all that smack and had a one-handed catch on freaking Xavier Worthy.
I hate it.
Like,
I hate it so much.
Dang it! I was angry that I had to give him his props of that game because I'm not a hater. So if you do something spectacular, I'm gonna give you your props for it. So
it was
Jamar Chase could take a note from him. If you're gonna talk crap, back it up.
That's
exactly what he did. So shout out to him, because that was an insane catch.
That was insane. And Patrick Mahomes has got to stop with these turnovers, man. That was almost 3. Almost 3. He had 2, and then 1 was called back, luckily.
And I don't like let's go ahead and get into this Falcons game. So, because what I was getting ready to say also can carry into that. So it's week 3. We're going to Atlanta. It's our first road game. We're playing in a dome. I think y'all know, and if you don't know, give me 1/2 of a second, and I can tell you what Patrick Mahomes' stats are in a freaking dome. He is 12-0 playing in a dome, which is insane. 28 touchdowns and 3 interceptions for playing in a dome.
Yeah.
So if you don't know Patrick Mahomes' stats with playing in a dome, there you go. Going to Atlanta is going to be a really good game. It's going to be Sunday Night Football. The Falcons are coming off of a huge win against the Eagles yesterday. Kirk Cousins went down and did a 2-minute drive and scored a touchdown on the Eagles defense and cooked them and won the game away on Monday Night Football. So,
yeah,
the anticipation for this game for Sunday is even higher now than I think what anybody even projected it to be going into it. Like, yeah, it's going to be a great game. So, I want to speak on what Lexi said. Patrick Mahomes has almost 3 interceptions in 2 games. The way that he force-fed Xavier Worthy made my head hurt because I'm sitting at my seat and my vision is bad. And I could see that you are not only force-feeding this, he's going to pick the ball off. And that's exactly what freaking happened. So I don't know what's going on with Patrick. I know that it was his birthday weekend. He probably turned up a little bit too hard. Oh, fine. Happy 29th birthday, Patrick Mahomes. But God bless. He has gotten so much better at this over the years to what seems like he's slowly reverting back. And I want him to realize that he has options everywhere because Rashee Rice was also open on that play and he still force-fed it to Xavier Worthy. So that definitely makes me nervous and a little bit concerned for the future, but I do think he'll make adjustments.
I agree. I think it's a little concerning. I was trying to force feed certain people. Names being Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce.
Oh, God.
So
I don't even know how to talk about Travis Kelce right now.
It's the sad thing is he did have like a 40-yard reception that was really good. And then that was called back due to a offensive line hold, unfortunately, once again. But
yeah,
I think it's just early, and I think he was planning on having Hollywood in his offense, and we're not having that. So he's like, okay, I got to adjust. He went to Justin Watson a few times, and that worked out really well because you're not forcing it to someone else. Like you're giving it to Justin Watson, who the defenders don't care about.
Hello, Noah Gray.
Sorry,
hello,
but yeah.
Hello, where's Noah Gray? Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. So my thing is like the only people that were active against the Bengals were Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, Justin Watson. That's about it.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting? I mean, Xavier Worthy had like 2 plays.
I mean, but they
like
were
no one else
was.
No one else was involved.
He was covered.
Like no one else was involved. It was just
I don't know. The play calling has been so bad the last.
It was weird. Yeah, it was just weird.
And I don't know if it was a matter of Andy not wanting to show everything that he has or what, but I hated the play calling last week.
Did too.
If we go to the Falcons and we convert on a 4th and 1 and get to the goal line and don't go for 4th and 1 again, I'm going to lose my mind.
Right. And why are you just like running into every defender? Like we just ran 3 straight running calls and they weren't going anywhere. Like try something else. So I actually we forgot to give Wanye Morris his love for his big man touchdown. Forgot to do that.
That is not on anybody's parlay. I'm telling you that.
No, but I loved the play call.
You know, it was great.
It was fun.
It was yeah. Yes, it was fun, but I also think they realize like the guys who we want to get the ball to, they're not getting the ball. So you have to get other people involved. We cannot go to Atlanta with the same game plan that we just had. Atlanta's defense is pretty freaking good, especially at the goal line. If I took nothing away,
yes, they were very good.
Eagles game yesterday, they kept them specifically Saquon Barkley, from getting in the freaking end zone yesterday.
No,
multiple times.
They did.
Multiple times. Their DBs were all over it. Their safeties were all over it. That defensive line stood strong. I mean, they have Judon. They got Matthew Judon. He's a freaking wall.
Game wrecker. Yeah.
Game wrecker. You have to have a plan against him. And if you don't, you're going.
And they have Jesse Bates at safety too, who is phenomenal.
Who had a crazy good game yesterday too.
Phenomenal.
So like, those are the things that you have to
honestly
going into this game.
If you're doing a parlay, I almost want to say Jesse Bates anytime interception.
Patrick Mahomes is definitely going to throw an interception this game. Like at this point, book him for
it's one. It's going to be every game, right? Like at this.
I remember when it was cute when we thought that he was going to have less than 10 interceptions this season. No.
Here's my thing. Okay. Here's my thing. If we're going to revert back to these like crazy interception throws, I need you to also throw 4 to 5 touchdowns a game like you were doing.
Like, so you're going to need to throw for almost 300 yards a game.
I'm going to need a little bit of compromise here.
This throwing for less than 150 yards is sick.
It's not cute.
Don't ever do it again.
Not cute.
Not cute. But no, now, the game plan going against the Falcons is going to be. What were you about to say?
I was going to say, I did look up because I was just curious. I was like, all right. So I have all these people in my comments saying Patrick Mahomes is washed. He's regressing. He's not going to be blah, 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 whatever.
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, let me look up how many games Tom Brady had 100 to 200 yards, right? He had a good 12, 13, 14 games where he only had 100 something yards passing.
In his
which gave me a little bit, made me feel a little bit better.
In his 70 years of playing in the NFL.
And his forever years of playing. I'm like, you know what? Okay, Patrick has had this maybe twice, this being his second time.
And it's going to be okay. Super Bowls.
It's going to be okay.
He has 3 freaking Super Bowls.
3 Super Bowls. He is in week 2. He is going to figure this
and
thing out.
And we still won the game, which is dumb.
And we won the game. Yeah.
Shout out to the defense. Shout out to the defense.
Yeah.
But no. So going into Atlanta, I fully expect us to, one, we need to talk about the other great elephant in the room, I guess. Kareem Hunt is back. So the Chiefs went out yesterday and they were like, get your butt on a plane and get back to Kansas City. You know how to get here. Kareem Hunt came to the practice facility today. They worked him out. I heard the workout went well, clearly. And then I heard he got interrogated. And it clearly went well. So you guys know the issues that we had with Kareem Hunt way back in the day. What was that, 2018?
Yeah.
God bless. 6 years ago? Jesus Christ. Where did I live 6 years ago?
Where was I?
I'm like, what state did I live in then? I don't know. I can't even think about it.
Oh my gosh.
Think about, I was listening to something today and it made me really just kind of be like, all right. Because I was like against Kareem Hunt coming back. And it wasn't even because of the off-field issues. I'm like, he's 30. Now, granted, Samaje Perine and him are only a couple months apart. He's old to me too.
And Patrick, apparently, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, if if Aaron Rodgers could be 65 playing NFL right now, I'm fine with Patrick Mahomes being 29 still playing football. I'm gonna get a community note that says Aaron Rodgers is not 65. Sorry.
Go correct.
So I was listening to something today and it was like, think about how you were when you were a young, dumb kid. You know, what were some of the dumb things that you did? And, you know, would you want people to have grace towards you and forgive you, especially if you have not done a single thing and added anything to your like record or history since then? How would you want people to treat you and perceive you? So then I remember that I read my Bible every day and I was like, ugh. Okay, fine. Because literally that's how it went for me. I was like, okay, fine. Like, I get it.
I have to show forgiveness.
I have to show forgiveness, right? even if you did a bonehead thing, but then they like kind of talked about more and more like what that situation was like 6 years ago and how bad he felt and how he was crying to the police officers and he was begging for forgiveness and
Right.
all of these things. And again, if you looked at his history
Well,
over the last 6 years, he has done things to not make himself seem as shitty. Now, I want him, for me, before you get to your point, I expect him to not only come back to Kansas City, but I want to see you out there doing stuff in the community. I want to see you giving back. I want to see you helping. I want to see you. If the community is going to forgive you, you need to now go put in the footwork and give back because you're getting a second chance in Kansas City on a championship roster. So I want your butt out there at the food drives. I better see you passing out turkeys around Thanksgiving. I want to see you doing all of the toy drives and giving every little kid, including me, everything that we deserve for Christmas. So
including me.
that's
So
what I
weird.
want to see. So if we're gonna give him a chance, okay.
Yeah. So Kareem Hunt, it's such a full circle moment for Chiefs Kingdom. It was such a controversial thing that happened. Well, not the actions, but the way everything was handled, to what happened with him in the
Lying
front
to the front
office,
office. Ugh.
lying to the front office about what happened and then getting caught on camera. Yada
Yeah.
yada yada. There's
Which
people
is
that
why
think
he
he should
was
be given a second chance a long time ago. There's people that think he still shouldn't be given a second chance.
There's
It's just
people like
it's
me who thought he was washed. I was like, he's
that
washed.
too. There's like people like, oh well, he's not an NFL roster. Why would we bring him back? There's
Also
just
me.
so many things that go into this situation. I think overall I'm looking at it as a positive. I think
For sure.
I trust our front office full-heartedly. I trust Brett Veach, Andy Reid, even Clark Hunt to make the right call and be like, okay, he deserves a second chance. We are literally in win now three-peat mode, right? We're on
And
the
you can feel
hunt.
it.
We're on the hunt for a three-peat.
The hunt for a
So
three-peat.
I think, they're gonna, and the thing is with losing a guy like Isaiah Pacheco, you don't replace that talent easily because he is
No.
he's his own style of player. Everyone's like, bring back Jerick McKinnon. We are huge Jerick McKinnon fans, both of us, but Jerick McKinnon is a completely different running back than Isaiah Pacheco. You
Completely.
bring in
Not even the same. And
not
does he
even
even want to play football?
that too, for one. And
Yeah,
then,
I don't think he wants to play football.
but even with that, it's like, even if he did, he's not replacing what Isaiah Pacheco did. So you need
No.
a guy, and I'm telling y'all, there's like no one out there that you're gonna put
No.
in
God
that
bless.
kind of understands the system. Like Kareem Hunt's gonna have to learn the new playbook, but he at least understands Mahomes and Andy Reid's play style. He at least understands all that stuff. He excelled here so well. I
Yeah,
mean,
he was good.
he posted on his Instagram a little bit ago, like a little hype video, and he's so excited to be back. He's so excited to get the second chance with the Chiefs and to get, all of his actions that he's taken accountability for. They cost him a paycheck and a ring, if not a few rings.
Millions of dollars. Millions and millions of dollars.
So I think for what he's going to bring back, I think it's going to be huge. I think he's going to do everything he can to play well. And Jody and I were saying earlier to each other on a private phone call, we were saying like, it's going to be awesome to see if we keep Kareem Hunt around when Pacheco gets back. Then you have Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, Carson Steele, and Samaje Perine. All four of those guys in the running back room is like lethal. That's
it
so
is.
That's
And
so
it
good.
makes
That's
me
so
kind of
exciting.
wonder, like, how do they keep all four of them? Which is a conversation for later and not today.
Later, yeah, we'll worry about that
I'm
later.
like, not even going to stress about that because, I mean, Papa ain't back till December anyway.
Right.
So I got time to be stressed out. But the positive, I think Kareem Hunt's going to come back and he's going to be really good. And even if he didn't think he was going to be good, I think as soon as he steps on the field and he's back at Arrowhead, it's probably going to charge his battery up. And he's going to be like, shit, I have to be good. Like, I can't fail here. And we're all looking at him like, you cannot fail here. So we expect you to be good. But I want to say, like, another plus side to this is Carson Steele is so freaking good. And when you look at Carson Steele, he gives you an image of Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. So for him to be able to learn from both of those styles of running backs, which are very identical to him, that is only going to continue to help grow and develop him as a player because I remember he fumbled, and I said, "Oh, I remember when Pop fumbled when he was a rookie." So, like, that was literally, like, the first thing I thought of.
Of
So I was like, "I'm not
course,
mad at
yeah.
that. You learn how to
No.
protect the ball." So,
Right.
welcome back, Kareem Hunt. Hope you're ready to go. Not sure if he's suiting up for Atlanta or not, but I pray to God that he is, because we're gonna need him on Sunday. So,
Yeah.
being
The
able
thing
to have
is,
those 3 on Sunday would be really nice.
we don't have depth behind
No, P. Ryan.
the P. Ryan and Carson.
Carson
So
Field. There's
we
no.
might, unless they decide to like randomly activate Keontae Ingram.
They'll
I
probably do
think.
him like they did Juju. Activate him. Here's a few snaps.
Right.
Because it's not like he was playing with a team. So it's not like he was on a roster and came to the
No.
roster.
Yeah. No.
They're going to have to slowly get him back into this program, which is totally fine. I don't think
Right.
it's going to take a lot. I think it's going to be just fine.
And
So what? Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead. I'm good.
I'm just going to say, so what are some of the key matchups that you're looking forward to going into this game? Atlanta's healthy. They ain't got no injuries over there. They cooking.
Nope.
Kirk O'Change is back. Drake London looking like a baller. You know what I mean? They got a little something going there.
Drake London and
Bijan had a crazy game. So yeah.
Darnell Mooney. I mean,
yeah. Come on, run defense. Our defensive line, Jesus.
Their weapons are really good. So
they got depth. They went out and spent the money this offseason, and it is being shown why they did it.
Their weakness is going to be Kirk Cousins in the pocket. So our D-line is going to have to blitz, and you're going to have to pressure him a lot. And their O-line looked solid against the Philadelphia Eagles D-line. For the most part.
But it had nothing to do with the Falcons and more to do with the Eagles.
I think, and the Eagles didn't.
I have more shade to the Eagles. They have not looked good in 2 weeks.
They didn't really blitz like they should have. Their defense struggles, and their defense is not as good as ours is. So I think our D-line is going to eat on Kirk Cousins because he is still, it came out this week that he's still recovering. He's not fully 100%. So if our D-line can feast on him a little bit, sorry, Kirk, I love you, but nope. we gotta take advantage.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins came out before the game last week, Sunday. It's Monday? Whatever day they played. He came out before the game on Monday, and he said that he wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with a lot of Falcons fans last night because they had a huge space, of course, on X after their major win. And I asked them, and they were like, yeah, no, he's not 100%. But they said that they were very glad that he's taking hits because that's helping to build confidence in him to let him know that he is better than maybe he thinks he is. So I fully understood that. But our defense is much better than the Eagles' defense.
And Kirk, he's not going to be able to run out of the pocket much.
No, he's not. He actually kind of he looked a little slow. Like he was getting the ball out fast, but when it was pressure and he had to scramble and run around, he definitely didn't look quick at all. Him throwing the ball, he was either overthrowing it or throwing it away. He threw the ball away a lot yesterday. Was it yesterday? God bless.
Yeah.
He threw the ball. I can't get my days together. He threw the ball away a lot. And that could be a possibility for us to where maybe our DBs can go out and possibly get a pick or a fumble recovery or something of that nature, but probably get a pick because he's going to be throwing the ball away, especially depending on what the pressure looks like from our line. So
I will say, I think Kyle Pitts is going to be a good test for our defense, especially because of what we've done these first 2 weeks against tight ends.
Really good.
So if the Falcons are scheming properly, they're going to get Kyle Pitts really involved,
activated.
And then Bijan Robinson, like we said, like that's going to be a big matchup because he's going to get the yards. He's going to get yards.
Let's talk about that. What running backs have we went against? We've went against Lamar. We've went against Lamar Jackson, running back, Derrick Henry. And then who is the running back for?
Like no one. And the Bengals didn't really run against us. Zach Moss and else. They didn't really run though. They took advantage of the tight ends.
So when we look at the running backs that we went against, I'm just gonna say Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson ran for a whole lot. We know Kirk Cousins is going to be able to.
Lamar Jackson ran on us like he was a running back. So
go back and watch the game, y'all. If y'all missed the home opener, well, we know Kirk Cousins can't do that.
No, he cannot.
That's a positive.
That's a positive.
And we shut Derrick Henry down.
Yeah, shut him down completely.
Bijan was not good week 1. Who did they play?
Steelers, which is TJ Watt and a great defense
at home, right?
Yeah,
and I'm taking Chris Jones over TJ Watt. So Bijan did not have a good game at all week 1. Didn't even score a touchdown, and my parlay can attest to that. So there's a very high possibility that, super sad. There's a very high possibility that Bijan might not have the game that we think that he will have, even though he is an incredible running back. That does not mean that our defensive line and our linebackers aren't going to be able to get in there and stop that gap so he can't run all over us.
I think our run defense is slept on a little bit.
It is because Drew Tranquill's really good. I'm like, Drew Tranquill's really good.
Drew Tranquill, Mike Dana, Chris Jones.
Exactly. I'm
Mike
like, they're all really good. And even if you have to bring some DBs down, which Spags has a really good, does a really good job.
Leo Chenal. Yeah.
Leo went off this last game.
Leo did too. Yeah.
Game.
He's fantastic.
We forgot to say him. But Leo did have a good, he's very underrated. He was very good this last game.
Very.
So, I mean, I definitely think we have the tools that it's going to take to stop that run game. Now, that doesn't mean that he's probably not going to still get 50 or 60 yards on us, because he probably will. But how do you make sure he doesn't get 100 yards on us? And I think that is what is going to be most important on this game.
I think he'll probably get 60 or 70.
Our goal line defense was freaking good against the Bengals.
It was.
Especially in the fourth quarter, if you go back and watch. When they threw another flag and they got another first down and they were still at the goal line, like, those boys held them nonstop for probably like 6 or 7 plays. So don't underestimate our goal line defense either. So I definitely think that we can go out there and put a stop to their little run game.
I fully agree.
Their tight ends, different conversation. I'm like, different conversation.
That's what I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about the tight ends, and I'm nervous about the receivers. I think Trent McDuffie is going to do his thing, but they have 2 stars. They have Darnell Mooney and Drake London, and we have to cover them both.
Went off yesterday. Darnell Mooney went freaking off.
We're going to need Jalen Watson, Najee Johnson, and Joshua Williams to, and honestly, put Chamari Connor in coverage if we need. Like, I'm feeling good about him. So.
And is Justin Reed good? Like, is he healthy? Where are we at? Because he was pretty just all right on Sunday. He wasn't terrible.
Okay, so he was really good against the Ravens. And then last week, it wasn't as noticeable. So
no, week 1 he was good. Week 2, I'm like,
yeah, we'll see.
So,
and even Brian Cook's been letting me down a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I love Brian Cook, but
he had a really good he had a great tackle in this last game, and he had
but it got almost to the end zone.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't know. We'll see. They're gonna have to evolve. They're gonna have to evolve. Now, listen, all these guys have won a Super Bowl, so they know what they need to do. They know what they need to do.
Some of them have won too. I'm like, some of them have won too. So. No, I think going into Atlanta is going to be really good. I think the keys to the game are going to be limiting turnovers.
Please.
Jesus, starting there.
Please.
Limiting turnovers. Use all your freaking weapons. If Travis Kelce does not get involved in this freaking game,
oh my gosh, I know.
I am going to scream.
I think he will. I think he's going to get involved this week.
He has to, because he's going to be, what's his name?
He's due.
Tony Gonzalez. You're going to his old stadium. You cannot go there and get shown out, because you're going back.
He's going to do something.
Who is now a Chief again. Long story. Not going to talk about it. He's definitely due for a good game. We got to get Noah Gray and Justin Watson involved.
That's what I mean. Like,
and I think that we don't have a choice.
Noah Gray and Travis disappeared last week.
I think we don't have a choice this week because we don't have a running back 1.
Yeah.
So I think Patrick is going to throw the ball.
It's going to be a completely different game plan. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why he's definitely probably going to have an interception. Which
Jesse Bates, anytime interception.
God bless. And we love the Chiefs. Y'all know that. But we're also very
obviously
we're also incredibly realistic.
Obviously, we love the Chiefs. We're just saying, like, realistically,
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I pray that I'm wrong. Okay, I pray that I'm wrong.
Obviously, we pray that we're wrong.
So limit turnovers. Get your guys involved. The three dudes.
Yeah,
the 3 vets. They're vets. And then I think the only other thing I would say is you got to control the running game too. You can't let them get a running game on us.
Right.
And I mean, of course, like our secondary has to step up. So I guess I got 4 things, but we also got to control their run game too. And you got to get Kirk Cousins in the turf because it's not dirt. So
exactly. Yeah.
I guess those are the 5 things I have.
Yeah. No, you pretty much summed it up. Get our weapons involved. Don't let them do anything too crazy against us. That's about all I got. That's pretty much it. You covered it. So, yeah. It should be, honestly, though, it should be a great game.
It's going to be so freaking good. If I don't lose my voice on my 6 a.m. flight back
you better lose your voice.
Woo! I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Honestly, there's going to be so many Chiefs.
Stadium.
It looks like a really cool stadium. There's going to be so many Chiefs fans there, too. Like, we know so many people that are going to this game.
Yeah, I know at least
including you.
Yeah.
Including you. So yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Before we get into score prediction, let's kind of talk about some week 3 matchups that we're most looking forward to. Football is really good and really fun right now. So there's
there's a lot of good.
So this week we have Texans-Vikings at noon, which is going to be a good game because the Vikings won. They beat the Niners this past week.
Which I picked on my pick list.
I picked the freaking Niners to win. They lost. Thank you. God bless. But the Texans are 2-0 and the Vikings are 1-1, I believe. So
no, they're 2-0. They're 2-0.
I just assumed they lost.
That's what I know. No, they didn't.
Nice with me. I'm gonna get another community note. So 2 teams that are 2-0 going against each other this week. Sam Darnold. I mean, hey man, okay,
he's cooking. He's cooking.
He's my like quarterback 2 in one of my leagues. So I'm not mad about it at all. Who do you think wins Texans Vikings?
Oh man, they're both 2-2, so that 2-0, so that makes it really fun.
I like both of their coaches. I think they both have great coaches.
I really like what both teams have going on. Oh, that's tough. I think I'm gonna go Texans.
I'm definitely going Texans. I think D'Amico is just a better coach, and I really like their head coach a lot.
And I think they have better
Jordan Addison is out. Jordan Addison is hurt. Justin Jefferson is not going to be 100%. So like what weapons is he going to throw to? So that kind of brings concern to me. And the Texans are healthy and they're rolling and they're hype and they in good spirits. And I think that they can go there and pull a win out.
I think the Texans, but I think it'll be close.
Yeah. Next game, Eagles Saints at noon. I'm going Saints.
I am too. I can't pick against them now. I can't.
The Saints are rolling.
It's at home for the Saints, so
yeah. Yo.
Oh man.
It is gonna be so loud in that
wild.
Stadium. The Eagles are not even gonna know how to control all the noise.
I'm not even gonna lie. The Saints are such a big I thought the defense would be good, but the offense. The offense is like shocking me.
They are.
Alvin Kamara is.
Respect Derek Carr.
Respect him, honestly. My God.
In my life.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Respect Derek Carr. Alvin Kamara, 3 touchdowns in the first half is sick. Like what?
It's insane.
A lot of people were like, he's washed, he's no good. He's this, he's that. Well, he definitely scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Definitely is fine.
In the first half against the Dallas Cowboys defense, which is supposed to be just top 5 amazing defense, even though they have a new DC. Whole nother story there. It doesn't even matter.
I have no words.
I'm always going against the Eagles because I do not like Nick Sirianni. So I'm going with the Saints this week.
But yeah, I actually do think they'll win. But yeah.
Yes. The next noon game. Wow, there's a really good noon slate.
I know.
Chargers at Steelers.
Oh man, so they're also both 2-0. Now, the Chargers are such a they're so I don't know how to rank them yet because they have a new head coach in
Who's
Harbaugh.
better than us? Nobody.
Who's better than us? Nobody. They're so corny that I can't stand it. They're so corny. I hate it, but they're great. They're playing great, but they've played the Raiders and the Panthers. So like I actually think they're playing at the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to get the win. And I think they're going to show the Chargers, like, this is what you have to do to beat a good team. And I think Mike Tomlin's going to show Jim Harbaugh up. And I think the Steelers are going to win it.
I don't know.
Because I don't think I've seen enough from the Chargers yet for me to pick them. But that's just me.
I don't either, but they're 2-0.
So are the Steelers.
I don't believe the Steelers. I think the Steelers, well, they had a really good win.
That's what everyone says, but then they win. So
like I don't believe in either of these teams.
I don't either. So that's why it's so interesting. I think this is a great test for both teams.
God bless. I think the Chargers win this week. And I hate saying that. Because we need them to lose.
Yeah, we need them to lose.
We need them to lose one since they're sitting at the top of the AFC West right now.
Only because they beat a division and rival. And
only because they beat the freaking Raiders.
But
I think the Chargers win this week. I don't really have much to say about it. The next game is Lions-Cardinals at 3:25. The Cardinals remembered that they have Marvin Harrison Jr., who had 2 touchdowns last week, even though I bet 2 touchdowns the week prior for Marvin Harrison Jr., and he had 0. So that was incredibly annoying, but we're here now. So who do you think wins Lions-Cardinals? Because the Lions lost last week.
I think the Cardinals looked so good.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams are depleted, of course, but like even
Lions.
I know I'm saying because the Cardinals played the Rams last week.
Oh, okay.
But they dominated them. Like it was 41 to 10.
41 yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, what? Were they at home?
Cardinals were at home, yeah. And they're at home this week against the Lions.
Yeah, they might win then.
This is a hard one for me. Oh,
but the Lions lost last week, right?
They did.
So they need a bounce back game bad. Yeah. And they have weapons, so I don't understand why they're losing. It must be something with the coaching. Dan Campbell must be doing something not smart.
No, and they made Jared Goff throw like 55 times and hardly utilized the run game at all last week.
Why? You have David Montgomery and you have
makes no sense. And Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Lions this week. I think they turn it back around, but I think the Cardinals will put up a great fight.
You know, would not be surprised if the Cardinals won this week.
Take them. Yeah, do it.
They're going off. They're on a high right now.
They are.
At home. They just won at home. They got some chemistry going. I'm sure the Lions will have a good plan against Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm sure they will create a good plan to shut him down, but I just got to see it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
2-0-2 teams. The Ravens and the Cowboys play at 3:25.
No, Cowboys are 1-1. They won against the Browns week 1.
Oh yeah. They beat the Browns. That's right.
But
whatever. Right, whatever. Cowboys and Ravens.
They both looked terrible last week.
And they're in Dallas. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, they lost at home this last week. So that doesn't really mean
doesn't even matter. They usually don't lose at home. So oh man.
I think the Ravens win it because they cannot afford to lose it if they want to go to the AFC playoffs.
They cannot be 0-3.
If the Ravens went 0-3.
Can you imagine? Like they have to win.
Like they have to win. At least the Eagles are still losing. So the Cowboys can figure it out because the Eagles are still losing. The Ravens have to win. So I'm going to go Ravens, and I feel like they win by like a field goal. Like it's not even like a big.
Yeah, it's at the Cow. Yeah, I think it'll maybe even go to overtime or something.
Like, and it'll be like 10-10 or something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do think the Ravens will win.
Actually, no, it
I
might be
think
high scoring because their defenses haven't been really doing
right,
much.
they've been struggling, so
And the Cowboys are struggling against the run game, which means
mhm.
Derrick Henry could have a good game.
And Lamar.
Yeah, oh, Lamar for sure. And who
Lamar
knows
B.
what Zeke can do because we ran over their run game. So Zeke could, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
don't know. I think Ravens, but
Yeah. Last game, Jags at Bills. I think the Bills win. Monday Night
Monday
Football.
Night Football.
I think the Bills win. They look good right now.
I will say the Jags always play the Bills really well, and they usually win. And the Jags are 0-2, and they're hungry for a freaking win.
But
They
is
look.
this game in Buffalo?
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, I think the Bills win.
You're probably right, but I'm going to pick the Jags just for fun because I think they really want it. I think they're hungry, and I think they always play the Bills pretty well. So I'm going to take the Jags.
Yeah, I think the Bills win just because I hate Josh Allen and he looks really good right now.
I know. I know.
Takes a lot for me to say that.
However, can I just say he also only had 139 yards last week?
He wasn't that great either. But I mean,
Their run game was great, but
yeah, still found a way to win.
Anyway, he didn't turn over the ball, so technically he did better than Patrick.
Right. Sure, whatever. So I have that as the last game. Let's get into score predictions for Chiefs Falcons. God bless. I was like, what bird do we play this week? Chiefs Falcons.
Which bird?
Which bird?
I don't even know what the hell I'm feeling for this game.
Literally.
I have a feeling it's going to be lower scoring. I'm going to go in the 20s again. I'm going to go like 28-23 Chiefs. 28-23. That's what I got.
I think it'll be under 30. I think it'll be like, because they're gonna score. It'll probably be like a 27-24, something like that. Something audacious, something ridiculous like that. That's what I think.
I'm writing our scores down so that we can keep track, and then we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens.
I already forgot what I said.
27. 24? You said 27-24.
Yeah, that's what I think. That sounds about right.
And I say 28-23. So we're right there.
Yeah, I'm like that sounds about right.
That's pretty much, that's all I got.
All right, well, let's get out of here. It is late. It is 10 p.m. and we have kept our people up late enough. All right, let's get into the sponsors. First of all, thank you all for listening. It's up to almost 1,600 listeners, and it's 10 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Thanks for being here.
We're exhausted, by the way.
We are exhausted.
Thanks for hanging with us, interacting with us, all of that good stuff. If you are listening right now on YouTube, please make sure to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to this episode. Like, and then let us know when you're done liking. Thank you. But let's get into the sponsors. We already spoke about them. Autograph. Please download the app. If you have not downloaded the app, make sure you do it and use promo code Kingdom Queens. Download the Autograph app. It's free. It's in every app store. It is in every app store. You can even pull it up on your laptop and listen to podcasts. Like, it's very cool, very multifunctional. It's very app friendly, all of those good things. So download the Autograph app today and use promo code Kingdoms Queens, and then tell us what you think about it, because there's a lot of cool things that's on there.
And they're trying to get the NFL involved, so
they are. And Tom Brady's an owner. Homage. Oh, we love homage. All right, y'all. We're gonna be real honest and transparent with y'all. We owe y'all a contest, and it's been a long week. We're gonna announce the winners tonight. We're gonna announce our 3 winners tonight on Twitter. So be looking out. We're going to announce it tonight. We will repost it again in the morning because we do know it's late and you guys are getting ready to go to bed. But shout out to everybody who participated in our first contest. We will be planning our next contest probably in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
I say a couple of weeks, like
probably like October, which is like in the next 2
weeks. Tomorrow. So. Yeah, literally. So
which is tomorrow.
Shout out to Homage If you are not shopping their apparel, it's so good. I wore one of my shirts to the game on Sunday, and it was just so soft, and the quality was great, and it just felt good, and it breathed
It's the
easy.
best. I'm wearing it right now. It's so
I love Homage apparel. Like, come on, y'all got to get on it. Get on there. You can go shop right now. Yes. If you do want to go on there and shop, because they do have a lot of cute stuff, and they have like some really great starter jackets. Start getting your fall stuff together. They got some good long sleeves, some good starter jackets, things like that. If you go to our pages, all of that, go to any of our pages, whether it's Twitter or it's on Instagram, you can click on our Linktree bio, and then from there you can click the Homage link and shop on there through us as well. Lots of great apparel on there, and I mean, why not do some shopping? Because
who doesn't want more Chiefs gear?
You deserve to buy yourself something really nice and special.
You're tired of last season's gear. Like, you gotta.
I'm definitely tired of last season's gear. That's for sure.
Stuff. That's how it goes.
Well, next Tuesday, we will be going live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, because I don't think either one of us finally have anything going on, and we can do it and be responsible and be on time.
Literally, finally. It's been a hectic first 2 weeks, but we're good.
It has been hectic, but yo, we appreciate y'all. We're so grateful for y'all. I'm going to say it again. Please go like this episode on YouTube right now. And if you have not subscribed to us, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Our channel is growing. I haven't looked at the numbers in like 48 hours, so I'm really a bad podcast person, and I need to be better about that. But our numbers are growing, and we couldn't do it without you guys, so we're super grateful for y'all. We thank y'all. Thanks for hanging with us. Long season ahead. Fun season ahead. It's going to be great times.
It's going to be great.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think we got it all.
Y'all have a great night. Go like, subscribe, follow, and make sure you look on our Twitter to see the winners for the Homage contest. Y'all have a good night. We love you. Bye.
Love you.